One person familiar with the script permutation says that the story at one point morphed into a narrative led by women and filled with life lessons. Blade was relegated to the fourth lead, a bizarre idea considering that the studio had two-time Oscar winner Ali. Jesus, what is that line that Wesley Snipes Blade says about skating?
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
And the house of Kevin Feige shall fall.
What's happening, film friends? Dave the Film Junkie here. My God, did we think we'd be here in 2023? I mean, I guess maybe some of us suspected, but the fact that the MCU is in such shambles right now, and people are using it, shambles, it's in shambles. After the Infinity War saga wrapped up, and now we got the multiverse saga, and it's been some winners, some losers, mainly losers, but there's just been a lot of shakeups that have been happening with Marvel Studios. They've been coasting, they've been riding high for the past decade. I mean, the 2010s ruled the box office, but then when it came to the TV and the pandemic, oh boy. Crisis at Marvel. Jonathan Majors' backup plans, the Marvel's reshoots, reviving original Avengers, and more issues revealed. Yes, it's from Tatiana Segalwich. This past September, a group of Marvel creatives, including studio chief Kevin Feige, assembled in Palm Springs for the studio's annual retreat. Most years, the vibe would have been confident, even cocky, given how the premier superhero brand, owned by Disney since 2009, has remade the entertainment business in its image. But this occasion was angst-ridden. Everyone at Marvel was reeling from a series of disappointments on screen, a legal scandal involving one of its biggest stars, and questions about the viability of the studio's ambitious strategy to extend the brand beyond movies into streaming. The most pressing issue to be discussed at the retreat was what to do about Jonathan Majors, of course, talking about all that. And it's like, oh damn, our big baddie is baddie in real life? At the gathering in Palm Springs, executives discussed backup plans, including pivoting to another comic book adversary like Doctor Doom. But making any shift would carry its own headaches. Majors was already a big presence in the MCU, including as the scene-stealing antagonist in February's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which is actually true, because when it comes to that movie, sadly, yeah, he really was the best thing. And it was like, oh man, he got defeated by them? Marvel is truly fucked with the whole Kang angle, says one top deal maker who has seen the final Loki episode. And they haven't had an opportunity to rewrite until very recently because of the WGA strike. But I don't see a path to how they move forward with him. Beyond the bad press for Majors, the brain trust at Marvel is also grappling with the November release of The Marvels, a sequel to 2019's blockbuster. Of course, they had $1 billion. This is an unprecedented turn of fortune for a company that has enjoyed a nearly uninterrupted string of hits ever since it started independently producing its movies with 2008's Iron Man. The wildly profitable run culminated in the $2.8 billion success of 2019's Avengers Endgame, a high watermarker, and blah, blah, blah. Replicating that kind of phenomenon is never easy. However, the source of Marvel's current troubles can be traced back to 2020. That's when the COVID pandemic ushered in a mandate to help boost Disney's stock price with an endless torrent of interconnected Marvel content for the studio's fledgling streaming platform, Disney+. According to the plan, there would never be a lapse in superhero fare, with either a film in theaters or new television series streaming at any given moment. Too much. Way too much. The Marvels, which opens in theaters on November 10th, will struggle to get the ball past the infield, at least by Marvel's outsized standards. The movie, which cost $250 million, holy crap, where did it go? Because the VFX suck. Sees Brie Larson reprising her role as Captain Marvel, is tracking to open $75 million to $80 million, far below the $185 million Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Oy, I mean, and you know what? It's probably tracking even lower, but we'll see, of course, when it comes to opening day. So apparently when it comes to the director, Nia DaCosta, it says a quote right here, because eyebrows were raised, again, when DaCosta began working on another film while The Marvels was still in post-production. That's right. If you're directing a $250 million movie, it's kind of weird for the director to leave with a few months to go. Yikes. That's a problem. Marvel's entire VFX battalion, including staffers and vendors, is struggling to keep pace with a never-ending stream of productions. This past February, when the credits rolled at the world premiere of Quantumania, shock rippled through the Regency Village Theater in Westwood over some shoddy CGI. There were at least 10 scenes where the visual effects had been added at the last minute and were out of focus, says one veteran power broker who was there. It was insane. I've never seen something like that in my entire career. Everyone was talking about it. Even the kids of executives were talking about it. That's bad. That's just really bad. I'm telling you, I mean, this whole VFX thing and the long hours and all this stuff and changing things, it was bound to come back and bite you right in the butthole, Kevin Feige. The year 2023 was the straw that broke the camel's back, says former Marvel Studios VFX assistant coordinator Anna George, who appeared before the Congressional Labor Caucus on October 19th to testify about the studio's untenable deadlines and working conditions. The pay and long hours at Marvel were the reason we had to start our unionization process there. The conditions were completely unsustainable. As public criticism mounts, Feige is pulling the plug on scripts and projects that aren't working. Case in point, the Blade reboot. The project has gone through at least 5 writers, 2 directors, and 1 shut down 6 weeks before production. One person familiar with the script permutation says that the story at one point morphed into a narrative led by women and filled with life lessons. Blade was relegated to the 4th lead, a bizarre idea considering that the studio had 2-time Oscar winner Ali. Jesus, what is that? What is that line that Wesley Snipes Blade says about skating?
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
With Iger publicly acknowledging the downside of Marvel TV glut that diluted focus and attention, the keepers of the comic book empire are considering some drastic moves. Sources say they have been in talks to bring back the original gang for an Avengers movie. This would include reviving Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man and Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, both of whom were killed off in Endgame. Yes, that'll fix everything. And it's kind of funny because, of course, fans out there are, of course, excited because they're like, why aren't they coming back for Secret Wars? Was that actually a done deal? I mean, we know that some people are probably going to show up in Secret Wars. Hugh Jackman, Deadpool, maybe some Fantastic Four, some Spider-Man, who knows? But that's what's so funny about this is like the fact that, was it already a done deal? Has it already been a done deal? And is it just for Secret Wars? Or are they really just trying to bring them back to just do more movies and bring the gang back? And it's like, all right, is that even going to solve anything? Do you have the money to pay those 2 actors? So back to the whole Jonathan Majors thing, a studio source notes that regardless of the actor's legal issues, Marvel already had considered moving away from a Majors-led phase because of the box office performance of Quantumania, which will struggle to make a profit. It gave people pause given that Quantumania didn't exactly land. Recasting Majors is an option, as Feige did when replaced Terrence Howard in Iron Man 2 with Don Cheadle. In fact, Marvel isn't afraid to change direction, even after making splashy announcements. Iron Wars, of course, was first unveiled as a series and is now being developed as a feature, which, yes, that saves money, and then hopefully we don't get that whole secret invasion type fucking shit. And that's pretty much the points that I wanted to talk about when it comes to this article right here. Like I said, read the entire article. There's more in there, of course, and they do give praise to Guardians of the Galaxy because that was a big winner when it came to Marvel this year, and it will be the big winner because, hey, guess what? It was actually a good freaking movie. But let me know your thoughts about it down below, guys. I mean, it's crazy that we're here right now. They dominated so much, and now everything's in shambles. They got controversy, they got lawsuits, they got wanting to bring people back, and things not working, retooling, and all this kind of stuff, and just the bad press when it comes to the VFX houses and everything. It's crazy. It's crazy. And you know what? I am convinced that they should just reboot. Reboot. I mean, I guess there's Secret Wars. Maybe when you get to Secret Wars, you can reboot. I don't know. I really don't know. But I still think that if you're going to bring in the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, reboot the whole fucking thing. So then you can have a Tony Stark and a Steve Rogers and a Black Widow. You can have everybody there and just kind of retool some things and kind of go like different direction and tweak things and have a world that has mutants and the Fantastic Four. And there's just a lot more to work with and a lot something, I don't know, different. But who knows what's going to happen. And then if they bring in Doctor Doom, I mean, oh my God. That would be pretty drastic, and that would just F up a lot of things. I think that would be feel too rushed, in my opinion. It's like, would that be too rushed? Or, I don't know. There's this, but hey, you know what? There's a reason why Kevin Feige wears a ball cap. He has no more hair after all this, for sure. Yes, probably doesn't even have a scalp anymore. Let me know your thoughts about it down below, guys. What do you think about all this? Love ya. Talk to you later.